Welcome to another Field of Glory 2 battle. This is my final match in this season of Little Wars, a 600-point small map tournament organized on the Slitherine forums by Carvon, who I am facing off against here. I have the Jewish Revolt. He has Numidian or Moorish with Roman allies. So this Revolt list that I've been using is pretty straightforward, although it is a bit weird in that it has no cavalry, light or non-light, and no heavy infantry. It does have a swarm of slingers and archers, poorly armed rabble to pad my route percent if I want, and irregular foot and zealots, lightly protected superior impact swords for its infantry line. So whether I emphasize more skirmishing or infantry and more zealots or irregular foot depends on what I think Carvon is going to bring. Unfortunately, it's very hard to tell because with his Roman allies, he could take this in one of several directions. He could get a bunch of cavalry, and he could also get a swarm of light cavalry, or a swarm of light infantry, and he could even, if he wanted to, go pretty heavily into heavy infantry, not just Roman legionaries, but also warbands and mediocre imitation legionaries, which are more affordable. I also can't just hide in terrain because he has a fine medium foot line if he wants a Scutari and Phoenician style foot. So it's going to be a guessing game. If he deploys a cavalry heavy force, I'd probably deploy defensively between this forest and this rough. If he goes in on heavy infantry, I can spread out and attack. My guess is a lot of skirmishers and enough cavalry that advancing would be awkward. So ultimately, although it's risky to go all in on lights, I think I would rather lose by having too many lights and being broken up than by being picked to death by enemy skirmishers. I will get one additional unit of zealots, but I think I'm going to leave it at that for decent units and otherwise grab a swarm of cheap irregular foot. Well, 2 irregular foot or 1 zealots. Probably I'll stick to the plan. This will give me numbers and the ability to spread out my line. If he goes in on high quality units, I might regret doing so. Okay, so that's what we'll do for now, and we'll move around as needed depending on his force composition and deployment. Right, let's see that force comp and deployment. Very light on the skirmishers, interesting. Now I'm sure there's a unit here and a unit here, but still we have skirmish superiority, which means we're going to have to hope that our very subpar melee wing doesn't get steamrolled. And in order to avoid that, we'll need to spread out and threaten envelopment from the very beginning, without spreading out so thin that his cavalry can push through holes and get flanks off on us. Simple enough. Next turn. Okay, moving over here, maybe to the cover of the stream, hard to say. We'll match that extension. Also with these units. These will forward and then slowly start to turn around. Lights can occupy this deep stream. and the deep stream. Okay, that's all. Next turn. Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna try to, what, anchor himself here? Or is he trying to push to hold here? Either way, it's a fairly defensive stance. Good. Then what to do with our lights? Start being annoying. It'd be unfortunate to waste so much ammunition on his lights, but I don't see much choice in the matter. Alright, let's see what kind of response we get to that. Next turn. It's fine, we can just run away. Right, withdraw this unit and this unit. Held firm, too bad. Held firm. Huh. Let's push out and start making threatening motions here. These guys might need to support this left wing of our skirmisher line. Oh, why not? These aren't his best troops, but we can hit them. So, what, 7 skirmishers versus 8? We have a slight advantage. Next turn, rally on his light jabs. Too bad. We disrupt. It's getting a little bit dangerous for my taste. Good. We could really use that. Back. And general up. Occupy this. What? We need to be ready to stretch around if possible. try to shift this unit around to be irritating. Neither of these are really that close to auto break, but there we go. Good. Charge. Good. Keep shifting this unit over to the left where we actually need it. Okay. Up 8, but it's early days, really. No point charging here. Although I guess there's not much point in just sitting here getting shot at either. Maybe I'll try falling back. Good. Next turn. Oh. Well, that could have gone better. Well, what we can do about that? Held firm. Great, start getting behind. Do we waste more ammo on the Phoenicians? No. Send 3 units to work your way behind. And what? Afraid we'd get caught. Question is, do I want to cross over or just try to limit the damage? This could get bad. I don't think crossing over 3 units would be a good idea, so if I'm playing defensive, I will want more lights to the left. Something like that. Next turn. Good. So we're still down 112 POA. But the enemy is disordered. Is that worth it? Probably not. Let's face these light javelin men. And oh, he stuck it out. Interesting. You try to stretch out. I don't want 3 units pinned by 2 units if possible. Let's just do it. That was not helpful. Okay. Zone them in. Let's see. Shoot. Withdraw. Shift over. Shift over. Prepare to wrap around. Take cover in the built-up area. Cover in the built-up area. And get out of the charge arc of this unit. You can do that here. Threaten a flank attack. If I move here, I can then cover. Good. Next turn. Ooh, what a shame. Interesting. Face off there. They're severely disordered. Get our zealots out of there. Face off again. General up on there. Run. And we'll just run again. Used command and control, too bad. How is this? Not the best. We might want to wheel about. Let's pop in so we don't get hit by any more javelins. Then we'll flank next turn, hopefully before we auto break. Okay. Next turn, another rally on his light jabs. Do we hold? We do. Alright, he's gonna flank, but we're gonna lose that combat eventually anyway, so I'm not extremely worried yet. Good. Let's work on a disruption then. Nothing yet. Let's charge. They'll evade because we have flank threat on them. Nothing comes of it. Right, let's get the cohesion drop, and if we're lucky, frag. Very good. Not more than that. Now this unit is in the stream, so if we don't break right away, it's possible we won't. We'll be able to charge them in the flank with our zealots. Okay, run off, that's fine. Try for a disruption. Nope, but if they charge, we can hit them in the rear with our light infantry. Wait to rally, stand your ground, stand your ground. Not all that much to do at the moment. We just have to hope this doesn't get too bad. But if it does, we might have enough units free to plug the gap anyway. Next turn. Held firm. Yeah, that's not the greatest. Those are half arcs, so we don't care. Good. Let's let's charge. They're severely disordered, we're moderately disordered. Shove off these light jabs. I charge here, will they evade because we're close by? Maybe. Yep, and a rear charge. Good. Now gonna flank in. Good. Held firm, held firm. Kind of tempted to do this just to get out of cohesion check range. Good, we did not follow up. Now we break, unfortunately. Okay. That's just delightful. Tempting, but let's just pin them for the moment. That's unfortunate. We're going to get charged and then pushed back. And there really is nothing we can do about it. Shove them off so they can't charge. Then we can move out of charge arc again and shoot. No disruption. Could do that as well. I think I'm fine with just pinning them in place. Well, at this point it'll just be an even fight, and there's worse things than that. What can this unit do to not be useless? Suppose we can venture into the water and then threaten to start arcing around. Next turn. Yep, and the question is, do we hold firm? Didn't think so. Out of the charge arc and shoot. Stamped like javelin horse. Tempted to ignore them, but I'm afraid to. You know what? It's okay. It's worth the disruption. Take cover. Right. Next up, lots of options here. Let's see how this goes first. Firm, pushed back. Okay, that's just fine. Held firm again. Come on. Held firm. Maybe next turn we pour in our last ammo, and then we can charge in and work on an auto break. This unfortunately is going to be a break. Yep. He moves here, that could get very awkward. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Here, face off this cavalry. Tempted, might catch them, or I might disastrously charge the legionaries. I think I'm better off simply ignoring this whole situation, shifting these irregular foot over. Hopefully that's not a mistake. Next turn. Good. Now we can go for a frag. Interesting. Didn't try to set up a flank. I'm okay with that, actually. So now if I move here, he'll countercharge with the cavalry. Too bad. Well, let's work on weakening this unit some more. Disrupted. They take 20 casualties, they auto break, so we might as well just get in there. Good. Now, turn and face them. Question is, do I move here to protect the rear of my zealots? Or do I start trying to move into a flanking position? Difficult to say. Run. And you may pop out and shoot. Held firm. Too bad. Too bad. But they're average, so we gotta drop them to 115 to auto break them. I think that's doable. I don't think I can justify letting this unit get flanked. So, that'll do for now. Next turn. How is that? Decent. Let's work on fragging this unit next. Move out of charge arc and just harass a little bit more. Do they auto break? Good. Held firm, held firm. Alright, then turn and prepare to flank. We'll lose these lights, but not a big deal. Keep out of cohesion check range for next turn. Guess we're low on ammo, so why not? Alright. Next turn. They held firm, but that should give us some combat strength advantage. Okay, well, let's shuffle. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll shuffle here and get the drop. Does that cause? No. Then we can shuffle into place for next turn's contact, and we're already winning despite being down 12 POA because of the combat strength modifier the casualties of Scutari have taken. Run. No need to get caught here. We might get pushed off the field when he charges, but that's okay. It's close to auto-breaking this unit anyway, and if we do get pushed off, we'll probably come back. Fragged. Not quite a break. And we still don't run. I mean, we should do something about that. Hopefully we rally up to steady so we can use his full ammo and we're steady. It's possible, if no rallies happen, that we're looking at a win already. Right, so it is the end game. Carmen says, well played. Thank you. I always try to tell people well played when they win. It's a good courtesy, and you know, people work hard for their wins. They should hear it. Don't know why I messed around with that stream. They almost always bring me more grief than positive results. I actually completely agree with his analysis for why this match went the way it did. We'll get into that once we get to the end. Okay. So, as you saw, the Jewish Revolt army is entirely composed of medium foot, including some really bad medium foot, and light infantry. So the deep stream does not disorder lights, but it does moderately disorder mediums and severely disorders heavies and cavalry. So this is something that heavies and cavalry just should not go near. So he didn't start on it, but he got kind of sucked in by my volume of skirmisher fire, because although he could have the same number of skirmisher units just about, a lot of them were light cavalry, which don't have the same level of firepower. Now they are effective for charging, but not into a deep stream. So, combined with the fact that he had superior non-light cavalry, well, any cavalry for that matter, but he had 2 units of it, I think the thing to do would have been to maybe sit himself down in a nice open stretch of field with a screen of light infantry and cavalry on the wings, inviting me, if I wanted to have a battle, to cross over my whole army into the open. If I just crossed over with the skirmishers, he would have ridden them down with the light javelin horse, as we repeatedly saw almost happen here, even when I had multiple units. So in order to attack, I would have had to come over with the whole army, at which point his legionaries would have done quite well against my irregular foot. Difficulty would have been fighting the zealots again, but at least they would have been steady in the open, while trying to get behind with his non-light cavalry. Would that have worked? I don't know. This Jewish revolt list is really good. It's very easy to sort of min-max its efficiency, and granted the irregular foot is bad, but they're so cheap. But I think that would have given him a much better chance than coming on next to terrain that his forces really could not operate effectively in. So, a good game to carve on. This is my last match in this season of Little Wars that he hosted on the Slitherine forums. Thank you for that. And till next time.